I want that cost. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your... Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Right from the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look through light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Let's go.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one because, to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well. But that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out.
And the pressure gets to him again.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just stuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Mahomes throwing on second down. That one is caught by Hunt. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Butker now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Now Keenum throwing on second. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Anthony Hitchens leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Third and long. It's Keenum. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
different
was an
things for different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. And now here comes Kansas City. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Here we go now. Green, 90.
Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Left, go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. He was looking for Watkins that time. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Darren Lee in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game. He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
That defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. 21 yards, well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help. And
they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. They still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
A toss play to Hunt. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down, Kamara able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They get it to him running left. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Chiefs are in for 6. He's showing the different ways he can hit you in this first quarter. 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown.
He's showing us he's not just a stereotype, isn't he? Not just a guy who carries the ball in the backfield, can get out into space, make plays with his hands downfield. That's a pretty good combination right there.
Defensively, you'd prefer to be going against the stereotype, wouldn't you?
At least you know where he is, right? That gives you a chance to get more people to him and get him on the ground.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. On first down, it's Keenum. It's complete right side to Benjamin. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold... Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Out of the gun, Keenum. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's Jones. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. They'll be looking to get in the end zone again. Had the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had there during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air.
Yeah.
I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Benjamin. Ooh, the juke. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Broncos take over. First down. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they... And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Chris Jones in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Keenum. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Darren Lee in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Out left, he's got it to Everett. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's complete to Chris Conley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Mahomes looks to throw on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he finds Jason Morrow. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after, up and good. And it's now 21-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Butker now to kick this one away. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Keenum. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Ace!
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he comes back with one complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mahomes now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Todd Davis coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. He's going to go deep for Conley. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Darian Stewart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. The give is to Jones. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. A give to Jones. Oh, good move. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, Keenum completes it to Benjamin. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd and short. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And got his man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
The extra point up and good. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As well, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So the Chiefs offense heads out. There's a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ace! Ace!
Right back to him on first down. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he will take it off and for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. So he's in for his 3rd score of the game, and a defense probably saying, man, we don't want to see this guy for a long time.
It's bad enough when anyone scores a touchdown against you, but for one person to get 3, it almost sets him apart from the rest of the game, and no one likes to see any of those players on a pedestal, not from the defensive point of view.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after it.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Mahomes going to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Todd Davis. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller.
And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Damon Harrison in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. First down for the Chiefs, solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Mahomes now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
58, Ram. 58, Ram.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And going deep for Hill. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On play action, now Keenum. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, no credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He is going to find Hill here. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Mahomes now on first down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Ron Parker there in on the coverage, and he knocked it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Z.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
From midfield, here's Keenum. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chiefs will take over at their own 20. And now here comes Kansas City. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year.
He's got him in, complete. And he's going to be be taken down deep into Bronco territory. A big play there for KC, 65 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A 10th carry for Kamara, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They run it again with Kamara. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 3rd down, that's Hunt. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Chris Conley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Keenum now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Again, Keenum. Thomas barreling ahead. Catch here, left side, Thomas. A Bronco 1st down. Keenum hooking up with Thomas. Keenum now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Keenum to throw again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does, is emboldened the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That is incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. To throw, it's Keenan. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Here's Hunt. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run again with Hunt. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. The Chiefs on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. They'll toss it to Hunt. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Past the 20. And he's going to be marked down deep into Kansas City territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos, and even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. From the gun, it's Keenum. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now here comes Kansas City. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They run again with Hunt. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. They run with Hunt. And some room to run now. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
Left, Z. Slow.
Mahomes going to throw it here. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Tyrone Crawford in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company.
Tight dog. Black 58, Royal. Black 58.
Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style.
My have an all-white rank. Couldn't hit if it had